So good morning. Today we are starting with a new topic, new chapter please. Set theory we have completed. Now we are coming on next chapter, that is trigonometry, and it's a big chapter, big unit is there, and please be careful about this chapter because this you will find most difficult later on. So if you go regularly with the lessons and daily if you are going to do practice on this, it will be easier one. So in that, first thing is the measurement of angle that we have to find out. Till now, whatever angle we are going to measure, that will be in degrees. But now we have to find out the angle in different methods, or different ways are there. So we should calculate measurement of angle. We'll do in degrees, and some other forms are also there. We are going to discuss that. So in this case, first is the angle. Now first you should make it clear what is angle. Let this is one ray we have. This is one ray. This is your initial point. And this is your terminal point. So if you take this as an initial point and this you take as a terminal point, and if I rotate this ray, this rotation can be done by two ways. One, if I rotate this in this direction. In this direction, if I rotate, that means I am rotating this in anti-clockwise direction. So when you rotate it in anti-clockwise direction, then whatever this angle comes, let this angle be denoted by theta. This will be the angle which we call as positive angle. This structure will be called as angle, and this angle will be positive. I'll repeat it. This is one initial ray. This is its initial point. This is the terminal point. This ray is now rotated with respect to this initial point in anti-clockwise direction. When you rotate this, then this will be the new position. After rotation, we will be having this. This structure which you are going to get will be called as angle. This is the initial point. You are rotating this initial ray. This ray, initially this is the position of the ray. I am rotating this. When you rotate it, this will be the final position we are having. Then whatever this structure going to get will be called as angle. And if the rotation in anti-clockwise direction, we will say this angle will be positive angle. Same way, if I take this is the initial ray, and this time I rotate this ray in this direction. This is now clockwise. When you rotate it clockwise, then whatever this angle theta comes out to be, this angle will be counted as negative angle. So two angles are there. This will be we call as plus of theta. This we call as minus of theta. So angle I told you, initial ray is there, you rotate it, either it's clockwise or anti-clockwise, then whatever the new structure is going to form, that will be angle. And this angle will be positive. If the rotation goes in clockwise direction, it will be minus. If it is positive, it means it is anti-clockwise direction. So whenever initial ray is there and if you go in anti-clockwise direction, it will be a positive angle. Whenever you go in clockwise, it will be negative. Anti-clockwise, it will be positive. So keep in mind, anti-clockwise rotation, whenever I am going to have, angle will be counted as plus. Whenever it's a negative direction, we will be counting that as a negative angle. And that is the reason we are going to have our graph paper. If you just think, this is the graph paper you have, and you have done, this is the first quadrant you used to say, this is the second quadrant you used to say, this is the third quadrant, this is fourth quadrant. Why? Because when you rotate this ray in this direction, that is this way. That means which direction? It is anti-clockwise. So whenever you have an anti-clockwise direction, this angle will be plus. So that's why this will be called as first quadrant, because rotation positive will be in this direction. So this is the first quadrant, this is the second quadrant, this will be the third quadrant, and this is the fourth quadrant. So anti-clockwise angle, when you take this is come out to be positive, and that is the reason we will count this as the first quadrant, this is the second quadrant, this is the third quadrant, this is the fourth quadrant. So this way we will be having the quadrants, and why it is first, second, third, fourth, I told you this is first, this is second, because this is a anti-clockwise rotation. If you go this way, it is a negative one. So you can't take that this is a first, second, third. No, first, second, third will be always taken from positive. So first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, fourth quadrant. So this way the angle will be positive if you move in anti-clockwise direction. If you go this way, it is negative angle we have. So this way you will be having the angles we are going to have in quadrants. We are coming on system of measurement, in which in what system we are going to measure the angle, we should know that. One system already we have done, that is called sexagesimal system. Sexagesimal system, or it is called as degree system. What this system says, that every quadrant, if you take these are the quadrant, every quadrant is equal to one right angle, or we will say that angle is 90. So that's why in the whole this part, this will be first quadrant, and from here to here it will be taken as 90 degree. Then from here to here it goes 180. So 90 is here. Then when you reach is here, this is 180. This is come out to be 270, and this is come out to be 360. So what they are doing here in this case, this whole arc, if I take only a quadrant, if I consider the first quadrant, then this quadrant is having this much as the arc. And if this arc we divide in small parts, and each part we are taking such a way that first we should say we are dividing this whole arc in 90 equal parts. From here to here I am dividing this in how many parts? 90. Then whatever this one part comes, we call that as 1 degree. So what this system says, one right angle is equal to 90 degree. First thing you should remember, one right angle is equal to 90 degree, and one right angle means one quadrant I am taking, in that whatever the arc you have divided that in 90 equal parts. Then each one part, or we'll say 1 by 90th part of this arc, that will be called as 1 degree. So one right angle is coming equal to 90 degrees. So this small part will be 1 degree. Then one more thing, this part you have done earlier. Now we have this 1 degree. Let us consider this is the 1 degree. And if you take this 1 degree, we will divide this 1 degree in 60 equal parts. I'll say this is 0 and this is, I'm saying 1 degree. Then this also divide in small parts. And how many parts? 60 parts. And then each one part now called as 1 minute. This minute is not same as the minute time. No. This will be angle measurement. So we will say 1 minute is the angle. So here in this case, what we say now further, 1 degree further divided in 60 parts, and then each part will be called as 1 minute. So this will be 60 minutes. This dash will be the symbol for minute. So we should say it will be 60 minutes. But this is not the minute for time. This will be for the angle. So 1 degree divided further. This small 1 degree. This whole 1 degree further divided in 60 part, and then whatever 1/60th part of this, that will be called as 1 minute. And then further what they are doing, this is 1 minute if I am taking. Then this 1 minute is further divided in 60 parts. This small part further divided in 60 small parts, and then 1 minute This was 1 minute, now divided in 60 parts. So each minute will be in seconds now. This will be 60 seconds. So 1 minute come out to be 60 seconds. Or we will say symbol will be 60 seconds. So this system we call as sexagesimal system, or we called as a degree system. So in degree system, what you have? Each right angle is equal to 90 degree, or we should say arc. When you take this whole arc, we divide this part of the arc, we divide in 90 equal parts. This also divided in 90 equal parts. This also divided in 90 equal parts. This also 90. So that's why 90, 90, 90 and 90. So 90, 0 to 90, 90 to 180, 180 to 270, 270 to 360. So total arc of the circle will be divided in 360 equal parts, and each one part will be giving 1 degree. So this will be 1 degree. Whatever this small part comes out to be, that come out to be 1 degree. And this 1 degree further divided in 60 part. So 1 degree will be equal to 60 minutes, and then 1 minute is further divided in 60 part, that will be 60 seconds. This will be called as degree system or sexagesimal system. So this is the first system we have by which in which we are measuring the angle in terms of degree, minute and seconds. Second system is called as grade system. Second system we are going to have, that is grade system. In grade system, what I am going to have, this will be 4 quadrants: x, x dash, y, y dash. Here we will say this 0. Grade system, also called as British system. And in this case, what they have done, they have divided each right angle, that is one right angle, they have divided in 100 equal parts. In place of 90, now they are dividing in 100 equal parts. And this each part, this one small part which you are going to have, this way it will be divided in how many parts? 100 parts. And then each one part will be called as one grade. So one right angle will be 100 grades. You write this way, 100 grades here, G. Or you can write this way, 100 grades. Then what they have done, this further small part, that is one grade, they have further divided in 100 parts, not 60 this time, 100 parts. And that will be called as 100 minute. This minute will be different from the minute you have done in degree system. Then this 1 minute further divided in 100 parts called as 100 seconds. This will be called as the grade system or the British system. This is outdated system. This is outdated. Outdated means we are not using these days. British system we have removed. So British system we are not using. So we will say it will be outdated system, or we'll say grade system, British system, outdated one now. And in this case, we should know one right angle is 100 grades. Each right angle they have divided in 100 parts. So that means in one complete round, how many grades will be there? 400 grades will be there. In this case, 0 to 100 grades, 100 to 200, 200 to 300, 300 to 400. So each will be having 100 grade each quadrant, and total will be 400 quadrants, 400 grades. So we will say in this one complete round, there are 400 grade. Each right angle will be 100 grade. One grade will be 100 minute. 1 minute will be 100 seconds. So this way you will be having the grade system. Is this clear? So this is the grade system, system number 2. Third system which we will be explaining in next video, that will be the circular system, and this will be the system now we are going to use in the remaining trigonometry. So this is the important one. Great. first system you have already done, that was the degree system. Grade system also I have introduced, that you should know. That is outdated one. We are not going to use much, but you should know the idea of it. And then I told you one more thing in this lecture, that is positive angle, negative angle, what is the angle, what is quadrant, which is first, second, third quadrant, why it is first, second, third quadrant. So this we have done in first video. Now coming on second video, in that we will go for circular system.